Welcome to 4 years of Mr. Tiger Drop films. I can't believe it's been 4 years. And for 4 years, let's do the 40 fighters of the Like a Dragon Gaiden's man who erased his name. Now technically 39 because I'm not going to count Kiryu or Joryu, but you get what I mean. Basically, this has been a long time coming. I've used footage of these background fighters for a lot of footage in my videos. It just comes in handy. Shout out these two whipped guys right here, don't mind them, this video is for them too. But namely, I just wanted to make this kind of talk about a very important part of this game that I think has allowed me to use it for many videos. Just comes in handy when I'm talking about random characters, like for the Tatamura files or the Janata show, what have you. Because lo and behold, a lot of the characters kind of tie into the grand scheme of the franchise, will also have some pretty good fan service and whatnot. So without further ado, thank you for watching my channel. I've reached over 1,000 subs by this point, and 4 years, and let's get into it. For the bottom of the tiers, F tier, I'm gonna have Akimoto. He's just kind of a bum. I mean, if you've seen him in the other games from 1 to 3, I haven't seen him in a while, but him popping up here was quite a surprise. But honestly, I just see he's not really that good to play as. A lot of these characters in this game ultimately go into a few different kind of play styles, fighting styles, what have you. And Akimoto just has that kind of like drunk fighting style from Date and Kwame 1. It's just, he's at the bottom of this list. I'm sorry, any Akimoto fans, but after hearing that twist of him and his fiancée in Yakuza 3, yeah, he deserves to be in the bottom. After him, in the F tier, we got Businessman Taro. His bio in this game is all hype, no fights. He's not that good to play as. There's a reason you get him in the beginning. And when I was talking to my shareholders, we agreed that he also deserves to be at the bottom. Look at this footage, just gets hit stun the whole damn time. Quite frankly, I just feel like of all the other characters in this game, figure out who goes in the F tier. I just felt like Businessman Taro was ultimately a no-brainer. I mean, if you look at his fighting style, he's just kind of there, you know, he's too slow. A lot of these kind of fighters, either they're too slow, or they still have the dexterity, or their special ability just increases damage, or what's the point if their fighting style just isn't that fun to play as, even when you upgrade their strength, and what have you. And next in the F tier, we're gonna have Homeless Man Yamanaka. I mean, look, I just had to put him here. He's fine, you might enjoy his character model better, and the JRPG games of Ichiban, but here he's fine. At least he has a weapon. You don't really get a lot of weapon guys in Dragon Engine, but that's all I have to write about Homeless Man Yamanaka. I hope he finds a home soon. After him is another healer character, much like Akimoto, but it's the ultimate underpaid retail worker. I've been one at one point in my life. His name is Ryusei Tawashira, but yeah, that's where he belongs. After him, we got our first shield-based guy in the blue defensive modes. It's going to be Mamoru Tatino. I mean, look at this gameplay. He's fighting the chef guy. The chef guy, I wish you could play as him. There's quite a few fighters that you can fight against that you never get to play as. Kind of a shame, but I get it. All these guys are inherently tied to the big team battle mode, and they're just kind of there to help round out your team. The scale of them, their strengths and weaknesses kind of balance each other, but just even playing as these guys one-on-one, trying to go against some of the same fighters in the gold tier mode, or platinum or silver mode, what have you, this shield guy, he just ultimately wasn't really all there for me. He wasn't really that great. As you can see, it's kind of like Block City. I'm having to block everything, defend. I'm always on defense, and his offense just isn't that good. And the fact that all these characters are mostly tied to either square, triangle, or circle, with an evading, it doesn't really work, just kind of goes like that. That carries me into Chicken Man. Chicken Man is an F tier, surprisingly to me. I thought he would have been higher up, but for a guy wearing a chicken mask, he's all, you know, squawk, no balk. Even his super move, if you wait for it to charge, is machine gun, but as we'll see later in this video, there's other characters with the submachine gun that just feel better because, again, it's not just about the super moves, it's about the actual fighting style. Chicken Man is fine, maybe if you upgrade him more, but for me, it just felt like it was either too slow or you didn't really have enough movement to kind of carry anything from a one-on-one, or, as you see here, fighting a whole slew of enemies. I just thought he was just fine. Again, maybe if, he works better if you're on a whole team in the big team battle, but just playing as him, he's fine. You can kind of juggle enemies, but I would rather just not play as him. That's that. After him, that's the F tier guys. We're going to go into the crinkled tier. And I gotta say, here, things get a little better. Alright? Here, we're going to have Scorpion Nakamura. He's one of the latter guys I unlocked. Because funnily enough, when I was making this video, if you saw my community post, I thought there was at least like 37 fighters at first. I found I had even more than unlock. So which brings me to Scorpion Nakamura. He's fine, he's got that kind of biker aesthetic. I'm also trying to rank these guys just on their overall cool design, if they are kind of copies of each other. That brings me to the next thing of, well, if one guy looks cooler than the other. In this case, Nakamura's kind of your standard just brawler of kicks and heavy punches, a few uppercuts and some swing boxing moves. F is super move just being either increasing attack or defense, but in this case, yeah, look at that, he took that punch to the gut. So much for Scorpion, he's got no sting. After him, we have a character called, I think Akira Girin. He's one of the, I believe he's one of the colored faction guys you get after doing a sub-story, so he's kind of an ode to the, color gangs from the original Yakuza 1 and 2. So for that, I appreciate it, but sorry, Girin, you're just not that cool, man. Sorry. Actually, I'm not sorry. And next, we're gonna have a certain different fighter. Look, this one is, Munon Akumatsu. You might know him from the cult guys, the Shurei PP guys from 0 and Kiwami 1, and even Yakuza 6 and so on. But I believe he's the guy that appears either as a disciple in 0 or an actual character in Kiwami 1. Either way, I think he's in Yakuza 6, but he's fine. He's funny. You can heal to keep going into like any gauntlet. If there's healers, you can heal like the whole time, abuse it, but you just do not have any good offense. After that, speaking of offense, we got Hammerhead. His offense is better, but he's like the first guy I'm pretty sure you unlock. He's like your basic just thug to mug around with and, kick around his numbnuts and lugs, but he's fine. Here's a mirror match I got with him with his footage, and yeah, look, it's fine. Like, you can upgrade him, he's perfectly serviceable, but in the grand scheme of perfectly serviceable, I would rather have something that's just even better than serviceable. And that's why Hammerhead's going to be dropped down to the C tier. I think that in terms of the grand scheme of these characters, he's just meh. Maybe if he was the Hammerhead of Spider-Man, I'd move him up, but as of now, no. And speaking of another thud, speaking of hammers, we got Yuji Nagokawa. Now he has a whole sub-story dedicated to him, but again, in terms of hammer guys, there's one I'd pick above him, so he deserves to be in C tier. And next we have the Super Guard Machine. Look, I made a whole video about the Hangman clan in the Shinada Show episode 1, but it's fun, you get to play as him. I think I even have footage somewhere of Super Guard Machine fighting Hangman himself, because Hangman, it is in this game as an opponent, but again, he's a shield character, as we saw earlier, just does not have any good offense. He's only good for that big team battle mode, even if you upgrade him. And next, we're going to have Kung Fu Master Suzuki. He's part of the Kung Fu class. There's only about 2 of them, I think, but of the 2, I just don't really care if this guy's design. It just reminds me of some of the more annoying enemies you'd fight in like Ichiban's 2 games. You know, the hippies that constantly heal from smoking weed that spawn in like at parks. So, but even without that, his aesthetic's alright. It's just meh. But his fight style is fine. Again, he's a Kung Fu, so he has a cool kick. Kind of channels your inner Jet Li, but he's just, I'd rather pick other characters above him. Next, we have what I call the ninja class of Brave, and the only reason he's this low is because he's just, I'd rather have Saigo in the game, the guy from all of Akiyama's stories in 4 and 5, and he was even a open world boss in Yakuza 6, The Song of Life. But this guy is not Saigo, it's just a guy named Brave. Luckily in this footage, he's fighting another military looking dude, so it works out, and they just got his teeth kicked in. But he's here in C tier for that reason. Next, we have Nightmare. I had footage of him, but I completely glossed over it because it's Nightmare. He's fine, he has a cool beard, but again, he's one of those more heavier brawler, a bit more of a wrestling tier enemy, but I didn't really get into him. His booster just greatly increases attack. Ultimately, in my 4 years of making this channel, I just never thought of this guy until I made this video. Moving on, we have one of the later characters that I ended up unlocking. Points to him for aesthetic and having some kind of basic Yakuza Irezumi across his shoulders, chest, and back. It's just kind of a more generic one, nothing fancy. But his name is Mr. Onizuka, Yoshihito Onizuka, and he's a healer, so he can kind of heal. And he has some pretty cool, I guess, super attack. He's kind of a mix between a healer and a normal red tier enemy of attack, so he's fine. He actually has a decent moveset, but I just couldn't really get into him. His offense was fine, but there's other, as we'll see later, a stronger healer type character that has a good offense that I would pick over him. And in the grand scheme, there's just other characters that I think ended up being sort of cooler than this straight up Yakuza dude. And in the grand scheme of things, I just feel like he's one of those more, I think he's a reskin of a guy you get in Ichiban's games once again, which is fine with where this game takes place in the timeline. But as you see here, I'm having a lot of these guys fight some of the same characters, and if you can't really put up a fight against fake Watase, then you're just not going to be high up there in my books. And moving up for a little bit of a better tier, now that we're in Barbarian tier. For our second entry in the Barbarian tier is Zhang Wei. I like him, he's the better Kung Fu guy in the game. He just has a cooler aesthetic, I guess. And it's always cool seeing those jumping kicks he can do, and he's also just quick on his feet. And as you can see here, I was able to beat up the mythical, horrible, dreadful abomination that is known as Hangman. And if you can put up a fight against Hangman, then you're gonna be alright in this universe like a Dragon games. But all in all, I feel like Zhang Wei is pretty cool, but as we'll see later, light spoilers, I think it's his father in this game, is going to be way higher up on this list. Sorry, spoilers, if you know me on this channel, I do it my own damn way. So next, following up on the B tier, the Barbarian tier. Now this is one I debated with my own shareholders, my brothers on this one, but they kind of talked some sense into me, and we got baby boy Dojima himself, Daigo, at a solid B tier. Originally I had him higher up because he's going to heal, and he is great. You could play as him as a leader in the big team battle, but yep, they won me over with some of these paid DLC characters with the Jimas. I had Daigo fight his own self in his own boss battle, and why does the AI controlled version of them have all their moves I wanted to play as? Daigo is just a novelty in this. I'm happy he's here, but if we got an actual Daigo Gaiden, maybe my opinion would change, but as of now, Barbarian tier. Sorry, 6th chairman. And next we had a big boy Koji. He's kind of a porky looking guy, but he's got a nice coat and pants thing going on. Once again, he's like in charge of the white gang. It's color gangs that we saw in the PS2 games, kind of homaged. Here it's something boring now. But as you can see, here's a cool move. You can kind of take down an opponent and just use his big back weight on them and jump on them. Kind of like, popcorn in a microwave. But he's fine. He can hold his own against some of the heavy hitters in this game, like fake Watase or fake Kiryu or any of the chef guy. But he's fine. If I was to take more time upgrading him, I'd probably like him better. But as it stands with Big Boy Koji, there's just other characters that I would rather play as in the grand scheme of things. But, no dissing to him. He's perfectly fine as a middle-of-the-road character in this game. So in terms of other characters in Barbarian B tier, just middle of the road. Perfectly fine characters. We got a guy who I thought was Phoenix this whole time, but no, it's Finiki. And he's also a hammer guy, but I quite liked playing as him. He's a lot of fun if you try to win as him on the 100-man mode, because he can kind of clear swarms of enemies quite quickly. He's got that kind of 360 attack, which is nice. Again, in the Dragon Age, it's just plain nice to have a character with a weapon that you can actually use. And in terms of him and his crushing hammer, I think Finiki is pretty cool. He's kind of finicky, but he's fine. He has a few attacks that might kind of leave you open too long to get attacked yourself, but here I fought the really cool samurai guy as him, and he held his own and even was able to defeat him. Now, I wish I got to play as a samurai guy. I think he's a leftover from the Kiwami 2 versions of Yakuza 2 characters in terms of enemies, but yeah, look at that. His super move, Finiki's super move, is able to dish out like a health bar and a half of damage, even though it has him spinning like an idiot. But yeah, you know what? He's going to be a Barbarian tier guy. And next we have one of my MVPs from Judgment back in the day, because even Judgment's like almost 10 years old now. Good God. But we got Sugiura. Sugiura, he was once the thief in that story, but he was my MVP of that game. I was really attached to him as a character. He had a good emotional payoff in his bond of Yagami and Kaito and Hagashi, you know, the Judge boys. But here, he's really nice to play as. He's actually has a unique fighting style that I do think is properly ported from his fighting style in Judgment and Lost Judgment. Of course, probably a little watered down to fit the limited moveset of this game, but he's able to hold his own against a serial killer looking guy who was the closest I could get to the mole in this game. But he even has a little smoke bomb because he's supposed to be a thief, which I can't remember if he does use that in Judgment's story, but it's nice that it's here. It takes one of the weaker parts of the ninja boost in this game and mixes it with Sugiura's own cool, you know, parkour, acrobatic moveset, what have you. And speaking of acrobatics, we got Katsuo, who I believe is a real-life rapper. Could be wrong on that, but regardless, this dude's in the game, and he has Majima's breaker moveset from Yakuza 0 and Kiwami 1, and you know what? It worked here. I'm glad they even incorporated some of these moves to Majima's moveset and Power Yakuza years later, but as a character, Katsuo has a truly unique moveset. He is one of the better healers in this game. It's a lot of fun using the breaker, even if it's a bit limited. Even his healing animation, that's one for circle, or B, has you do one of the jumps of Majima's breaker style, and his super move is his full-on doing some kind of, you know, I guess freestyle rap. And it's fine here. I was able to even beat Fake Watase as Katsuo, so you know what? He's pretty cool. I completely forgot he was in this game, but playing as this kind of breakdancing rapper healing guy was a pleasant surprise, and he's definitely higher B tier, for me at least, in Mr. Tiger Drop Films book. And speaking of B as in Prowlers, we got Kamiyama. I have no idea which Kamiyama this is supposed to be. I don't even think his bio really clarifies. I don't even think Sega and RGG remembers that there were two of them twins. But as you know from Yakuza 3 and Yakuza 4, there are two of these dudes walking around. I don't know if they appear in Dead Souls. They probably do. Let me know in the comments if they do. You sexy viewers are really intelligent. But ultimately, I feel like that in the grand scheme of this game, it was a pleasant surprise to have Kamiyama. If he wasn't in here, he would be one of those long-standing, recurring side characters that would have been sorely missed in this series. I'm glad he's here. And lo and behold, he has a weapon. That being his giant cannon that shoots balls out of it. And it works. Originally, I thought he was just kind of a dumb character to play as in this. But as you can see here, he works really well against crowds, obviously, and he's even way quicker than I remembered, even being on his feet for a guy holding a giant goddamn cannon. But Kamiyama is really cool in here. I know some people probably would have had him before, like the double Kali stick moves that he had in Kiwami 2, but I think it works just fine here, and him having a cannon is funny enough because there really are not any gun characters in this game besides some of these playable characters having like a super move for a minigun, but here, having a cannon on site all the time, not just being a super move, is really a welcome addition. Speaking of ranged characters, I'm going to have to go with Mr. Ishikawa, Hamako Ishikawa. He's kind of a kabuki-looking actor. He's got the face paint and the robes, and he's pretty cool, but ultimately I had to put him in B tier because kind of like Brave, there's just a certain cooler cooler ninja-style character in this game. But I still like this guy. If you put him with the other two ninjas on like your assault team for your big team battle, if you're fighting like those giants in the game, or any of the I think it was the Amon robots. But any of them, these guys are good and they're ranged. If you play them a certain way in the back lineup of your squad, they can just keep throwing their knives ad nauseum. As you can see here, this guy can just keep tossing knives as his main square or X attack, depending on the console, and it works just fine. And he even has a smoke bomb, but he also has a very unique quick step. As you can see, he's jumping around, and if any of these characters have a unique quick step, it does kind of heighten my enjoyment as playing as him, but he belongs in B tier for now. Speaking of another character in B tier, look at that minigun. I'm sorry, 4th chairman, or 6th chairman Daigo. We had to put you down for good with the minigun. That was Keita. He's pretty cool, kind of a generic guy with a cool jacket, but I think he was killing Daigo because he had the cooler jacket at the time. I'm so sorry, Daigo fans. Moving on, we got the goat. Well, not quite a goat. He's a sheep, but I mean, come on. A sheep man, you might know as a reused asset from Yakuza 7's movie theater mode. You try to stay awake as Ichiban as these guys try to put you to sleep. Hence why he's a goddamn sheep trying to make you count numbers, but he's really cool here. I think is way better to play as the Chicken Man, even with all the upgrades, because Goat Man just has like this beautiful sweeping kick. He kind of has Sarah's moveset from Zero, not quite, but at least the stance, I think. But having his own moveset, own kicks. He's like the closest in this game you can get to playing as Akiyama. Not saying it is Akiyama's moveset, no, but just the kicks kind of remind me of that. They're sweeping, good for one-on-ones or big team battles, and his super move being a rocket launcher just really puts him that elevated tier of B tier. And so we had the Sheepman kind of starting us out well on A tier for awe-inspiring. And after Sheepman A tier, we got Hattori the Ninja. I kind of alluded to him just earlier, but Hattori, come on. If one of the closest to your Ninja Fantasy, your Ninja Gaiden, your Ninja Turtles, your what have you, your Snake Eyes from G.I. Joe, well, play as Hattori. He's good, he's got a cool outfit. Again, the aesthetic is what puts him above his other two contemporary fighters. And it's just cool, being a ninja spamming the kunais or the shurikens, smoke bomb, and having a heavy slash as a super attack that's actually satisfying to pull off if you can pull it off. Because I know the Dragon Engine is very finicky. Even in Gaiden, what kind of took me a while to make this video is kind of just digesting this whole Dragon Engine physics and seeing what really works in this game, and some of the other just kind of, finicky stuff that still hasn't really made the Dragon Engine one of my favorites. I still prefer the older engines, but as it stands, I enjoyed playing as Hattori the Ninja. And next we got Renji, and Renji generally surprised me. I think he's one of the best of the normal red-colored fighters in the game. He's just a normal guy in a suit, so not the biggest points of aesthetic, but I like his fighting style. It's actually a bit more boxer-ish. A really cool uppercut, you actually juggle enemies as him, and his super being a machine gun, a submachine gun, just makes him one of the better gun characters in the game. And after that, I just want to show you a little clip of Fate Kiryu. Look at that, Fate Kiryu was in the game, and they don't let us play as him. Come on, it's got the Wild Dancer moveset from Ishin. I think if I could modify Gaiden, it's for us to be able to play as any fighter in the game. Except maybe the sub-bosses. I get why I don't want us to play as some of the sub-bosses in the four kings of the story, or Gaiden. I get it, you can't play as Amon. Although playing as Amon would be pretty cool. I already got the plays technically in Kiwami 2 when you can use them in Majima Construction, but anyway. Boss Gondara is my next guy at A tier. As you can see from my footage from the Tanamura files I got a while back, I like Boss Gondara. He's funny. He made me tear up in Yakuza 8 in that one sub-story, but here, I'm glad he's here. I'm glad that of all the weirdos of Yakuza 2 Sandbox, he's one of the ones that's still prevalent to this day, meeting different characters, and he has a weapon. He has literally throws a baby tantrum with his pipe. And he beat Hangman, that's always good. And speaking of guys I'm happy are still around, we got Gary Buster Holmes, who I also talked about in the Tanamura files last year. Go check that out. Come on, spread the gospel, people. But Gary, he's got his his big FG little gauntlet things. I think they're called capos, right? Keipo. Maybe I got that wrong, but they're basically having big balls in their hands with spikes. It's ridiculous, but I'm glad that Gary still has it to this day. You know, his English may be getting better, but he's one of my favorite recurring side characters, and even in a game that's supposed to be dumb fun like Gaiden, having all these weirdos keep popping up in all these random side content of a game mode, and him finally being playable on a Coliseum game, because Gary was like the first boss fight we had, or the finishing boss that we had in the Coliseum game, because he was the third guy you fight in the original Yakuza game, the final challenge of Purgatory. Yeah, I'm happy Gary got his due diligence here. He's awe-inspiring, just one of the best. And all in all, I just feel like every time he pops up, I love him, and I'm glad that he was able to be played as in Like a Dragon Gaiden, the man who erased his name. Go Gary! Send me your best Gary quotes in the comments below. There's really not that many, but he's the GOAT. And before we round out A tier, we got little Ryuji Goda. Look, I just had to show you this picture of him. He's awe-inspiring, but I think he was like... Okay, I guess I digress. Of all the characters, of all the fake characters you can play as in this game, I'm glad they picked Ryuji out of the three. And he was the one to round out the fights between, you had, I think, fake Watase, fake Kiryu, then fake Ryuji Goda with the tigers. Again, is it fan service? Yeah, who cares? It worked here in the context of the story, in terms of Kiryu having to be incognito throughout most of the story. And all in all, I think Ryuji Goda, he's better if you level him up in this game. I know he's not the only fake Ryuji in this game if you see the sub-stories, but if he's a taste of Ryuji coming back for real beyond Dead Souls in the future, then I'm all for it. He's an A tier for me. I'm a big Goda stan. And after that, we have Sodachi as the final character in A tier. Sodachi was the last character I unlocked in this game, surprisingly enough. I took some funny screenshots of him meeting Joryu, because they just fought each other in Yakuza 6 as Kiryu, but obviously they both just act like that didn't happen. They kind of allude to it, but I'm glad Sodachi's went back to wearing his outfit from Yakuza 4 and 5. Having him and Saejima team up in this game in the big team battle is pure, like a little bit of nugget of Saejima fan service that I love. Sodachi's one of the GOATs in the series, and here I'm surprised how fun he was to play. I thought it was going to be a joke, because he was kind of a joke when he appeared in, when he met Ichiban in 8, I think. But here he's a lot of fun. And I'm glad to see how much he's grown, and look at that, the combos, the uppercuts, the power. He's just an all-around, well-rounded character, and he's just, look at that. You can look at his walk. He has a different walk from other characters, I'm pretty sure. Look at that strut. He's just walking like he doesn't care. Like, for a character who pretty much lives in his mom's basement, and then he fights like this, it's like that dumb absurdity of the Yakuza games that I love, and the fact that he's so overpowered in this game. It's just so dumb fun that I have to put him at the tip top of A tier. He is awe-inspiring. He's truly awesome. But you know what's even above awesome? A goddamn badass tier. Here we got excellent Tsujiya. He's more of a luchador kind of character, and you can fight him. I think he's also a reskin of some characters you see in Yakuza 7 when you go around Sorenbori, but here, you know, look at that. Like, Rey Mysterio was one of my favorite WWE wrestlers growing up. Rey Mysterio was, and we even, my bros had one of his masks you could buy, and, you know, he had like every color known to man to his career, but one of them was like that kind of light greenish teal color, and I'm glad that's what the excellent dude here has in this game, so it kind of reminds me of that. But even besides the Rey Mysterio, you know, comparisons, he's a lot of fun. He can actually grapple with an enemy and toss him around. His boost attack ability actually works here with his moveset. He's quick, he's got that dexterity, even got a little bit of that charisma, but yeah, I think he's in this S tier of being super goddamn badasses. So after excellent Tsujiya, we got Wang Wei. Now Wang Wei, he pretty much reuses Tesso's moveset from Lost Judgment, but here, yeah, he's technically fits into the Kung Fu category of reskins in this game, but he's unique. Look at that jump he has. He has his own quick step that allows him to jump back. And of all the times that can reuse assets in these games, this works really well. He's got the Tesso moveset, he's got those claws, he's a lot of fun to play as, and the fact that he has a bladed weapon means he does damage over time if you cause the bleeding effect. So the bleeding effect, along with the super jump and his, any of his cool kind of like slashing moves, even his super move, and all around, you have a really deadly character that is perfect for one-on-ones. If you really want to feel like a, bad guy, and they can really just dish out damage, and you feel comfortable fighting really any opponent as Wang Wei. After him, we got, speaking of knives, got Higashi. Now, Higashi really surprised me in this. If you play the English dub of the Judgment games, he's played by the legendary Steve Bloom, who really he does a great job, Steve Bloom, bouncing off of Crispin Freeman's Kaito in the English dubs. And I can't remember if they actually get to speak here, because it's a sub-story when they appear, but either way, it's cool seeing Kaito and Higashi here. And Higashi, I think he is, in fact, the best healer in the game, because he has offense that boosts up his defense and his special healing ability. So you can heal with Circle all day, every day. If you hit R2, you can do the super heal. You can obviously heal your allies if you're doing big team battle. But look, Higashi, he got to clear all 6 of the original boss fights of Kiryu's journey. Years ago I did a whole video essay talking about what a great Easter egg this is in Gaiden, and having these 6 boss fights appear in Dr. Minami's IF8 or whatever machine, the imagination machine, memory machine. So Higashi appearing here and be able to fight all 6 tiers and beat the mode. I mean, if a character in this game can clear that mode, that puts him in the goddamn badass tier. I think Higashi also having the great offense with the dagger and that bleeding effect, and all around having a pretty good quick step that you can chain into like a triangle heavy attack, and just all that good offense, good healing, and just being cool playing. He had a great boss fight in Judgment, let's be real. All those factors, the cool factor, the aesthetic, the character, the abilities, the offense, and what he can do in this game, solo or in big team battle, makes him just very, I would say overpowered, but I think the more adept term is he's very compatible in this game. He's compatible with almost every challenge. He can take it on if you really know how to use him. So with that in mind, that's why I gotta put Higashi in goddamn badass tier. And after him, it wouldn't be Higashi if we did have Kaito. Kaito. Now I gotta say about Kaito, I've talked to him quite a bit on this channel, but Kaito Files is one of my favorite just mini stories in this whole franchise. I can't believe it's been 4 years since that game came out, so as well as my channel. But Kaito, again, compared to Higashi, we don't really have a relevant comparison, but we have played as Kaito. That's a difference. We have played as him in the Kaito Files with his 2 fighting styles. But even that, here he's mostly just his brawler style, his bruiser style, but here it's fine, right? If you know Kaito, you can pull off any fight. He might take more damage than you want, but he's a lot of fun, and he just has that Kaito energy that I love. And I think the whole sub-story of him meeting Kiryu or Joryu and him playing here is awesome. And if that's what Judgment fans can get as a little nugget of fan service, then hey, we should take it, right? So after Kaito, we have another character who recently got a spin-off, and that's Majima. Now look, of all the paid DLC characters, do these 3 really deserve to be up here? Like, does Majima deserve to be up here? Well, it's up to you, but look, I get it, right? Even as a guy who enjoyed the Mad Dog minigame in Kiwami 2, the Majima Saga is just a little nugget of just a decent, throwaway mode that was free and came with the whole package of Kiwami 2. And here he plays even better. He's quicker, he's snappier, he's awesome. Mad Dog spin, and he's just quick. He has a lot of punishing moves. Obviously, he would play even better in Pirate Yakuza. That's like the definitive Majima. But even without that, looking at this more of a lesser Majima, he's fine here in Gaiden. He's perfectly fine in the Man Who Erased His Name. He's a lot of fun. The flaw is that obviously if you fight against him in his boss fight, he plays better. It's still a crime that RGD didn't let us just play as the boss fights in this game, like the boss fight versions of the special modes of Majima, Saijima, and Dojima, all the Jimas. But as it stands, Majima is still fun in this game, and he can definitely get the job done. But who gets the job done even better? His oath brother Saijima. I don't think that Saijima does fare better than Majima and Daigo in this game. Obviously, it's kind of a searing loss, and kind of a phantom pain, if you will, that his moveset is limited. Obviously, like I said, the boss fights, you all know it if they were programmed in this game when they fight alongside you in the story, or in their DLC Coliseum fights, they have the whole moveset. Then why can't we play as a whole moveset? As it stands though, Saejima is still overpowered. I just think his punches are quick, while still retaining that devastating punch he had from Yakuza 4 and 5. And him having that over-the-shoulder pickup he has in the games, it's just great. So Saejima deserves to be in goddamn badass tier. And after him, we got Yappy. Yep, I think Yappy the robot is one of the best characters in this game. He's at the top of S tier for me in terms of a goddamn badass. I like the chainsaw, it gets the job done. The chainsaw is like the best weapon in the game, and it's hella fun to spam. So if you're a fellow Yappy fan, let me know in the comments below. But there was one character I'm missing, and he deserves his own tier. The Royale. Mr. Masochist himself. The guy who loves to get punished. He's into, BDSM and all that, but he's a funny looking character. He's just a dude in his underwear. So, depending on your view and your interpretation of this video, is he the best character in the game? Yes. But also, does he just deserve his own tier? Yes. So there you go. Look at his ultimate heat move. He just, he shakes it. He just deals all damage, and I was even able to do some punishment with the fake Watase here. So, at the end of the day, is Mr. Makochis the Royale of the game? Does he deserve to be in everybody's tier and allowing there to be love in the world and being like the mascot of your team in big team battle? Yes! So that's why he is the Royale and also a goddamn badass. So there you have it. That is my ranking of all 39 fighters, excluding Joryu, in this game. I hope to God I didn't miss anybody. This took a while to make and just trying to see how I would judge all these characters, but that's my ranking in terms of fun factor, upgrading, and even down to aesthetics if they had similar fighting styles or movesets. But all in all, I think my reflection on this, I'm happy that Gaiden gave us such a rather niche but fun take on the Coliseum in the series. And if this, at the time, was the last hurrah for the Coliseum, and filling what Yakuza 6 didn't provide as open world by not having a Coliseum, then I'm glad the man erased his name filled that void. It filled the erasure, if you will. But all in all, this is my ranking. I think all the ones that fight with their unique style and mannerisms are what made them my favorite. But let me know in the comments what your favorites are. Do you disagree? Do you have a better list in mind? Let me know, Come on. Nobody ever ranks this. I'm like the only guy on YouTube who's done this kind of ranking. But thank you guys for following my channel for 4 years. If you're a new and returning viewer, both alike, thank you. I've got more cooking. Check out my other videos I've done, from web series to discussions to rankings to analysis to secrets and all my other non-Yakuza stuff. I've done plenty of things I adore on this channel, and I'm gonna keep doing it. I've got some more cooking, and until then, keep tiger dropping, and I'll see you in the next one.